Hello guys, Wahoo here, back with another video. This time around, something old actually. I used to play a lot of Path of Exile, and if you go back on the channel, you will see a lot of Path of Exile, not a lot, but a few Path of Exile videos, and I decided to make one of these again because I really enjoy this build, and it's kind of a little bit unique, and I didn't find anybody that's done this or with this skill in particularly, so I was just thinking I would share this with everyone, right? So this is also inspired a little bit by Godsman Bob. He did some similar, sorry, but I am kind of going in different directions, but some of it is taken from him. So shout out to Godsman Bob. But without further ado, let's jump into what it is, or at least like what is the skill of choice. So it's the wave of convention. I think that's how it's said. And this one scales a little bit other than the new one. This is a very new skill. So this scales with physical damage actually, but it scales also, of course, with spell damage. So you can see it's tagged as fire, lightning, spell, AoE, and duration. I'm not 100% sure what the duration does, but so far, I am really enjoying this one indeed. The duration, I think, is something to do with how far it travels. I think that's how it is, and the AoE is how like wide it is. But I also went for some of that, but we'll see that when I go into the tree. So first of all, the wave is connected to Arcane Search because that's really awesome. Also, you get the mana regen when you use enough of the mana or enough of the skills. That's really nice. Connected to Spell Echo, connected to Elemental Focus, and also to Concentrated Effect. And as you can see, these are on level 19, 19, 18, and 19, and this is 19 as well. I just leveled them up like not too long ago, and there's a little bit of quality on them, not too much, but also keep in mind, I'm going to open up here, I'm 83, so not too high level. Like 90, I would be basically having these at max, and maybe also have them max at, you know, whatever. But you can see my DPS in a little bit. We'll just continue going over the rest of the gems I'm using. I'm using a Summon Chaos Golem. I'm using also the Flame Golem to start out with. That gives you a lot more damage, but I felt like I have enough damage, so I just need some survivability, and this gives like 4%, so that's pretty nice. I'm using a few Val skills, Val Righteous Fire, which is pretty nice. I'm also using Val Blade Vortex, and also Val Blight is how you say it. I'm not sure how you say it like that, but yeah. I'm using this one, the Blood Scepter. It's pretty awesome. I do not have the Leech though for 30% because I went with another shield, but if you're using this one Scepter, you should get one with at least 30 blocks, so you get the Leech. But it's really nice because you get energy shield per armor, and you also get some evasion. It's kind of all tied together, and also gives a good amount of spell damage and also elemental damage, and it's pretty cheap because not a lot of people using it. It gives a lot of damage, that's for sure. All right, so let's get up here. This is the Blade Vortex, sorry. And I'm using Concentrated Effect, and I'm using Control Destruction, and I'm using Physical to Lightning as well, conversion, just to have that extra boost to that. Down here, I'm using a Molten Shell with, of course, cast when damage taken, Immortal Call, and with an Enfeeble, because also I don't need a more damage. You can put in some, what's it called, like Fire Curse or whatever you want to, or any other curse you kind of want to if you want to like do that. And I think Enfeeble is what I need the most because of, again, I don't need the damage, I just need to basically survive. In here, I have the face run increased with the increased duration. I also have the blight shear, and also with increased area effect. Doesn't really affect the face run. It's more with the blight. It just like kill everything basically. Over here in the shield, I'm using the this here amplifier. It does give you the spell damage, which is pretty awesome, and also give you the life. The only thing that is kind of annoying is this Celiat's Oath. It's kind of annoying that you haven't been hit. Then it's basically you have to, sometimes you get like half or like down life to here, which doesn't really matter, but it's kind of annoying that it doesn't go up all the way up. So that's the only downside about this shield, because it also affects the energy shield which we were already running, and also the max life, and also the increase of area effect per enemy killed up to 50%, which is pretty awesome. Also the dodge is not too terrible. So that's why I went with this, but you can see it only has 26% block. So yeah, it doesn't work with this. I probably could run some Tempest Shield to compensate for that, but I'm not sure it works, so I didn't go with that. I was not sure if it worked or not. But in here, I'm going with the Herald of Ash, and I'm going with the Flame Dash, and I'm also going with the Celiorth, or something like that. You could potentially go with Hatred instead. I've simulated in Path of Building that it would be more damage in the end, but it's not really a lot. It's like 2,000-3,000 damage or something like that. Not too much. At least what was in the Path of Building, basically. And that's also with everything up and whatnot. But just to kind of before I show you how much damage I have right here, I in the Path of Building I could get it up to 500,000 DPS with everything up, of course, everything procced perfectly. I get up to like I said 500, 500,000 DPS, 500,000 DPS. That's what I'm saying. So I did that with the gear I'm using right here. Also, I'm using a Carcass Jack. This is pretty awesome as well. It gives you again the evasion. It gives you again the energy shield, plus health, and also the area damage, and also the area effect, which is awesome. So you could go with any chest. Doesn't have to be this one. You could go with what any of you want to, but I just went with this one because I wanted as much area effect as I could get. Also because I'm running Conk effect. I am also running the area effect, so I could change these around with the, where is it? I think it's down here. Yeah, these two, I could just change these around and you can kind of see it. And maybe I should show you what it does, or like what it looks like. This is what it looks like. So you can see it goes like a little one right there, but it kind of like does a wave thing. So it kind of goes over, you see over here, like that's almost full screen. I actually haven't tested it with the increased area effect. Maybe I can do it like that. Yeah, that it goes like all the way up. Not too much though. It's not like huge, but it does take more. But yeah, I feel like this is enough. This seems to be enough to do with the Conk. That gives a lot more damage, of course. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. So showing you do DPS right now. As I'm just standing here, haven't done anything at all. I am on 237,000 DPS, and that's without Arcane Search, which is pretty easy to what's it called, proc, and also without the face run. Because if I just use my face run, you can see here I use my face run, and you can see 260,000 DPS. So that you can see that goes down. So give me 30,000 DPS just by hitting this one, which I usually just use to run around with. And you can basically proc it all the time because you have the increased duration. And I even think when you get I don't have a lot of what's it called, dexterity. You could probably get some more. I think that increased the duration of it. I'm not sure, but I think it does it also when you quality it up. I'm not sure, but quality, at least duration, and then max duration. I think you can have this up like all the time. I know that it stops it when you use a ability, but it's pretty much up all the time if you want to use it as that. You could also use it as what's it called with Arcane Search, so you get the mana regen when you use it enough. But I'm gonna show you in the tree why I haven't not like that. But anyways, I think that's enough with the with what the skills are and such. So it is kind of mana hungry, so that's why I'm using a mana flask. It does cost you 72 mana, so even though with the Arcane Search it does kind of eat a lot of your mana, but yeah, you could probably like maybe connect a Clarity to like a Blood, what's it called? Yeah, so it goes on your, I can't remember the blood thing. So you blood magic, that's what it's called, blood magic. So it comes on to your life instead of there, because you do have the energy shield, but you don't have too much. And I haven't gone a lot after life and stuff like that, but there's life pretty close on the tree. But I'll show you guys that right now. Let's show the Ascendancy afterwards. So I'll also link this in the description. The tree is basically in the description as well, also with my profile, so you can just go and you can search this one. The name is Holy Wahoo. This is the name of it. So yeah, if you want to check that one out, you can check it on there. I don't know if it's going to be something different when in active. But we went Shadow and went through, of course, the physical damage. These all work with the physical damage works on this because it's physical damage. It is also fire. It's tagged as, you can see it does a lot of physical damage, but it also converts some of that physical damage to fire damage. That's what it does, and also some of that to lightning damage. So it basically has the, I feel like it has that double thing that used to be a thing in the game, but it's not really anymore. But yeah, all of these connect, and also you get a little bit of crit. And I went into here, of course, with the life and the energy shield and stuff like that. I went in also here. I did also go here, so it's a bit clunky right here because it does have the area effect. So I went with that little point there because of also doesn't help with the projectile speed. That's kind of annoying, but damage is of course increased, and the same is here. So I went into the crit here as well. So went this way, just basically took all of this, and also this because it also gives you the spell damage least as energy shield. So that works with that. It would work better if I had the shield because it gives 0.5 spell damage leech as life if they equip the shield as that. So that would also give me some life leech as that. Then I went up to the double, all the double notes, like both the life and energy shield is pretty good. I went up to some more crit. I went into some of these new wheels, which is pretty awesome. The shield, when holding a shield notes, are pretty strong. They're actually very, very strong. That's what I feel like. These are like really carrying. Went up to a physical damage wheel up here, and also converted some of the extra chaos damage. So I'm also doing chaos damage on this, which is pretty nice. Went in here, took the lightning damage here because it's pretty awesome. Also the cast speed and lightning damage itself, but fire is actually what feels like it's giving the most. In here we also take in this, the multiplier, and the movement speed is pretty awesome. Again, more more crit for spells. And down here we got some more double notes. Then we go into the AoE, of course. A lot of AoE right here because it's just awesome. More of the crit here. You go down here, you take the fire. You could also go with the lightning here if you want to do that. It can also be pretty nice. It also would scale with that, but I opted into just doing this because of, again, Guardsman Bob did only this. We did a different thing over here, but yeah. Again, into the shield notes here, they are very, very crazy awesome. Gives you like a ton of stuff, like four things that are just amazing about holding a shield, and also a block thing that actually gives you more if you do get a chance to block, which is pretty awesome. Then I went over into here, over to the Templar part of it, and again more area effect, just why I took it here. More conversion, which is pretty awesome, giving you even more. And then you get into the chaos wheel here, going down. You could take, I guess you could take some of these if you wanted to go in, also having your clarity on here. If you want to do that, you could do that as well if you want to. But you're pretty starved for points when you get, because there's a ton of it. I guess you could take out a few things over here if you want to go far, but you're pretty much in the late game here, I would say. Down going to this wheel. This wheel is absolutely amazing. This new wheel is amazing because it converts again, does even more conversion, giving you even more spell damage, giving even more. I think I went up like 30,000 DPS or something like that when I took this wheel, and the same wheel with this up here, because again it scales with the lightning again, so that's just, there's even more. I think you could go into this one. I really like this one as well. This wheel right here. I don't know if you want to go down or up, but I think you would go down here, yeah, because you don't really do any. You don't do a lot of damage elements or whatever they call. So just there's like 3 points you could take here if you want to, but what we're going is down here to energy shield and all resist. That's pretty awesome. We're going into here. These two notes is absolutely amazing. I guess you could kind of go this one, but I would probably not. These two notes are just amazing. I went for the more, again, defensive one now, but next point is of course going into this one. But here, pretty awesome, all scaling, some more all resist, which is awesome. But this is the damage note. This is like the more defensive note. This is the more, that's what I'm taking next. Going into here, and then I'm gonna go up here, take the AoE, maybe even taking this area damage thing. Maybe if I get to like level 94 or something like that. But at least getting the area effect wheel right here, also picking up this one, the damage. Not too much for like the minion damage, but yeah, I guess you could do a thing where you went into this wheel and picked up this one, and then kind of went like an like with the damage notes and kind of becoming a minion yourself. But yeah, I don't know. The point being is that then next I would go into from here, go into this one. I could take this one as well, but I would take this one and then this one. So I'm missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points at this point. So I'll be 93 actually. Okay, so 93 I would be here, and then you could basically pick up some notes here if you want to get to level 100, I guess. Just like increase damage and increase damage. Like you could just take these if you wanted to do that. I guess you get 7 points, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can put in like a few others, I guess. But the point is that you could probably go into the reduction of skills, and it'd be kind of easier to do. But the point is that these are basically the finished. It would be in the tree and below that I am doing there. But if I could get to, I guess I could get to proc. Could I get to proc? There we go. There is Arcane Search, and also with the duration, I get almost 400,000 DPS just by proccing that. And that's just by using the skill, right? And using your, what's it called, duration, basically. I didn't show you guys the, what's it called, the thing. But yeah, 400,000 DPS just by proccing that. So usually that's up like all the time. I forgot to show you guys the Ascendancy. That's what I wanted to show you. So I went with the Trickster. I think that's what it's called. Anyways, doesn't really do much for the build. It's more like a defensive option. There's not really anything for the Shadow that really does a lot for it, I would say. So, but it does give you like this evasion and energy shield. So it's kind of like I said again, the defensive option. Going into this one, these gives you the little buffs I have up here. These up here, the Ghost Shroud. And basically, just when you lose it, you get like recover some energy shield and stuff like that, and 5% of your evasion. So it's all in like evasion and energy shield kind of go hand in hand in this ones here. So this is something Guardsman Bob also did. So it's like I haven't tried this before, and I just kind of went in with it. So the Ascendancy doesn't really matter in that sense towards the damage, but it's just like a nice little thing. And then you get into the Escape Artist, which of course again gives you some more evasion rate based on your helmet, body armor, and stuff like that. So you can see I do have a body armor that has evasion and energy shield, and this one also. This does have armor though, but it should be energy. It should be evasion, energy shield basically. Actually, now that I look at it, but yeah. That's a little improvement I guess I could do, and also increase the attack speed and per shroud and stuff like that. That does affect the damage basically, but yeah. And also gives you dodge spells if you have energy shield, which is a nice thing. And you cannot be stunned either while you have these ghost shrouds up. And if you do take damage, you lose these. That's kind of how it works. And because basically my face run doesn't cost me any mana, is because of this one. It does increase my mana, so that doesn't really do too much. But also movement skill doesn't cost anything. So also my what's it called, flame dash does not do any. Basically, to cost me anything, basically, but I was just kind of shocked that it was 14,000 DPS just for the movement skill I'm using. But also, yeah, a reduced damage for taking for spending 200 mana, so you also have that damage reduction, because like hitting this 2 times, you basically have almost done that. So 3 times you would have that damage reduction basically, and you basically use it all the time. So also sometimes to reduce some or recover some of your mana. So it's basically, it's kind of cool. You could go with the well, which one was it that I was thinking about? I think it no, wasn't it that one? Oh, I thought it was some. Oh, then this one down here. Sorry. This one does takes like some of your mana and give you some mana and life and energy shield on kill. So that's pretty awesome. But the damage over time doesn't really work for it. Or like you could put in like I guess I'm using the Val Bleach or Blink whatever it's called. Could basically work with it. I guess that's another option to go actually. If you do opt into using that, but there's not really any other way to proc it, and this is this is pretty cool, but the point is you do have to have it on sold, so it's not something that's going to be up all the time. The recover thing is going to, of course, work all the time, but it's more the damage over time that I'm thinking about. So lastly, yeah, you kind of see I went with a kind of a holy look, and that's why also using that instead of hatred. But yeah, I guess you can use whatever you want to. I just wanted to use some of the new ones. Okay, so lastly, I want to go into the cosmetics. So if you're basically, this is basically all the information I do have. Again, everything will more be in the description to go check that out. I'll go lastly go into the cosmetics just for the people that wanted to know. But if that's basically the information, so if you're, you know, if you got what you needed, you came for, you can basically be done now. Of course, before you do that, make sure you guys like and subscribe. That's always very much appreciated. And here we go with the cosmetics. I went with the Sunstone effect. I bought the small pack that gives you like this portrait thing and stuff like that. So I went with the Sunstone weapon effect. I went with the Cirrus Flame wings, sorry. And a halo. I don't really need this one, but I was there. I can also use this one if I wanted to, but yeah, I might as well put that one on. I put the golden seraph. This is, and also the golden seraph body, golden seraph gloves, and the boots. And this is a cosmetic you cannot get anymore, but you could use just the regular seraph if you wanted to do so. The shield is also seraph's shield. The footprints are the what is it called? The Pendris footprints. I think you can go with, there's probably like some other footprints you can go with, but these are the ones I used or use basically. I guess any golden footprints would work if you wanted to do so. Of course, there's also the golden boots. This is of course the Sunstone, and of course these I'm also using the Sunstone effect portal. I'll show you guys in a little bit. And I went with the Divine Herald effect on this on the herald, so it actually does even glow even more when I do kill things. And this is how it looks, the portal thing. This is how it basically looks when it's activated. It's kind of tight right here, but it just looks better when you have like a big map device. But this is like the old map device, but it actually is quite great, actually, just very cheap actually pack. So that's the cosmetics. I didn't go with basically anything besides that. You could also go with some on the Righteous Fire and stuff like that, but it's only a temporary use, so I didn't really want it to use it. So that does it also for the cosmetics. Again, if you also looked at the cosmetics, great. Thank you guys so much. And that's it. I think I've done everything. I hope you guys like this one because I really like this build. It has potential to have a lot of DPS. And I did this because I didn't see a lot of people out there using these. So yeah, that's why I opted into making a video of these. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!